So today, this is really exciting. We're going to talk about after sales process. I feel like the after sales process is so important and a lot of people kind of forget about it. They think that once the sale is over, not that they feel like you don't contact your clients anymore, but I feel like it just kind of happens because when you take on new clients and then you have all your energy focused on them, that you kind of forget about the old. And especially when you end up having an abundance of clients in your after sales process, I feel like a lot of times you can forget about them because, again, after however many years in real estate, you end up having quite the database of people. I think we have I don't even know how many. Like my first year, I did 40 sales. I was kind of pretty steady on that. And then there was one year I only did 29. But then last year we did 68. There's a lot of people in that database. And if you think about 5 years ago, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't talked to that person. And it's possible where you just haven't talked to that person in so long. I'm a big fan of working off referrals. I feel like everyone's probably a big fan of working off referrals because number one, it's way easier to keep clients that you have done a good job for as opposed to getting new clients. I think that I don't know, there was a statistic that I heard. I don't know if it's real or not. I always kind of hear these things and I'm like, that makes sense. Apparently it's you're 10 times more likely to earn referrals from your clients or can keep those clients happy than you are to convert a new client. It's 10 times harder, I guess. Anyways, so like I said, we're going to be talking about after sales processes today. And if you guys have anything that you want to add, then 100% throw it on here because I think that it's really great to obviously make the list bigger or everyone's going to have different things that they think is valuable as well. So first thing that we do with the after sales process is that I always make sure that we have everything set up so that we have reminders to contact our clients just as a touch point. And one of the things that I always say too, I mean, it depends on who the client is, but one thing that I usually say, which I feel like is cute and they like it, is that I always say oh, it feels weird not talking to you every day. I don't know. You end up getting a really close connection with people. And then all of a sudden you're oh, we're not talking all the time anymore. Usually I'll touch base and say, like I said, feels weird not talking to you I don't know. There's lots of other things you can say too, how's the new house? There's obviously a ton of different things that you can say. I think just making sure that they know that you're obviously there for them if they need anything, really important. I always send this message out within 3 days. Send within 3 days to 7 days after, right? Because you want to make sure that you touch base with them pretty soon after. I mean, obviously when you give them the keys, I always bring them a gift, give them their keys. And then again, I know that we've talked about this in past sessions, but obviously making sure that you do a walkthrough with your clients and make sure that the house looks okay, I think is really important too. When I bought my house, I didn't actually get a walkthrough. And I showed up and there was things missing and there was a freaking tree in the backyard that had all the fruit dropped on the ground and it smelled so bad. And I didn't get the walkthrough, so I didn't get to say anything to the agent. And then I had to kind of complain after the fact and be oh, this is what happened. And I had to run to the office and grab the keys in the morning, which also fucking sucked. Right? I know, Eden, you're shaking your head and I'm just I feel the complete same way.
You show up at the house with the clients. You are there before they're there. If it's a hot day, you got beers for them because they probably have a truck full of stuff and right? You walk through the house with them. You don't need to move a box, but you're part of the cheerleading support crew and right? Making sure that everything else is taken care of because they are moving. They're stressed. They are tired.
Right. And you want it to be an exciting, happy day. You want it to be rushing to the office to grab the keys. And then we have to pick up the moving truck because usually when people get keys, they're moving at the same freaking time. Generally speaking, it's far and few between when people take keys and don't move until the weekend. They usually have a truck full. They're excited. They want to get in the house. So I totally agree. I love you're in the cheerleading squad. I freaking love that. It's so good. Something that I saw one of our agents at EXP doing for their clients, I sent him a message. I was oh my God, this is amazing. So good. He mowed their lawn so that when they moved in, like it was like so nice. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then there's another EXP agent. Actually, I lie. He's at Royal LePage, but he's freaking like super wonderful as well. I was talking to him and he was like, oh, like I'm actually going to help them move today. Like they didn't have enough people. And I was like, you are a freaking gem. Like so, so sweet. So, I mean, obviously we can't do that kind of stuff for everybody, especially if you're physically doing it. Although, I mean, you could probably like a army of people that if you needed to, you could call them on a whim and be like, hey, the lawn mowed, I just showed up and it's a freaking disaster. Or like someone to come clean quickly. So, I mean, that's not after sales process, but then you are setting up the premise that you do care and that you do want to take care of your clients, right? So I think that the possession day is very important. And then again, touching base with them between 3 and 7 days after possession to see how it's going. Because I'm sure we've all moved before and we know that it's going to be like a few months at least before they get their shit organized in their house and they're probably feeling overwhelmed. So obviously touching base with them, seeing how they like the house and all that stuff is great, especially since after you move in, things do pop up and you want to obviously make sure that they know that you're there for anything that does happen. That is one thing that I think is super important. And then we set all of our clients up on what's called send out cards. I feel like we've talked about this before. Send out cards is a program that automatically sends out cards on the date that you've scheduled them for. So it just makes your life really easy. When I first started, we were just handwriting cards. And not that that's a bad thing, but again, once you get so many clients in your after sales process, how many years you've been in the business, I can't imagine that people have been in the business 25, 40 years. And then all these clients that they have to keep up with, if you're handwriting cards, like, I don't know how you'd keep up. I've been with send out cards for about a year. So it was like 5 years in that I was like, holy crap, we can't do this anymore. And so we were handwriting cards, and then you're handwriting so many cards that you start making mistakes. And so I had our assistant helping us, and I remember, Cheryl, you're in here, I think. I'm going to hang you out to dry, girlfriend. I'm really sorry. But I do remember that once you start writing so many cards, you start making mistakes. And so I had one client, her name was Rahel. And then poor Cheryl put Rachel with a C in it by accident. And then my friend messaged me and was like, my name's not Rachel, right? And so the send out cards, and Cheryl can vouch for this as well, is that it's just streamlined the process. You just set it and forget it, which is amazing. The program also allows you to upload like your own graphics. So they do have like a set of templated cards that you can use if you don't have the time to create your own. But we actually had Callie, who you guys have met before as well. She does all of our marketing and stuff. We had her go into Canva, and she actually created kind of like the back of the card with our logo. And then she did like handwritten signatures that she uploaded so that it looked like it actually is coming from like us, not just like a cookie cutter card that we picked from the program. So that's a really nice option too, is that you can customize it for your business specifically. And then something else that I also really like is that we actually do brownies for our clients. And so originally we were doing just like $1 scratch and win. The company that I used to work for when I first started was doing that, and I couldn't think of anything else to do. I was like, I literally can't think of any other gift you can give them that's not going to be like something that's going to be nice to give them, but it's not going to like break your bank. And I couldn't think of anything else. And so when we switched to send out cards, they actually have brownies as an option. And they are a bit more expensive, but honestly, the rate of people, the amount of people that actually reach out to us and say thank you for those is huge compared to the people who used to reach out just for the handwritten card and the $1 scratch and win. While it's a bit more expensive, and I was kind of on the fence about like a pre-templated card going out, I think the fact that the brownies go out has upped the amount of people that reach out to us, which is absolutely amazing. So send out cards, make sure we set up our clients on that, because then we can set it and forget it. You can also do brownies here. You can do happy 1 year anniversary cards. Is that how you spell anniversary, guys? Anniversary. I think so. You can do anniversary cards. Like I said, you can do birthday cards, like you name it. You can do so many things. Or like, even if something happened and you're like thinking of you, get well soon, you can go into the system and type that in too. I actually even sent out Christmas cards on this program last year because Christmas snuck up on us and I was panicking. And I think Walmart ran out of their printer paper and I didn't know what to do. And so I just uploaded our team Christmas photo onto send out cards and like mass sent it out. I was like, I don't even care. Just freaking like send these cards because otherwise we weren't going to be sending out Christmas cards. And we do send those out every year as well. Actually, my first year, I was very sweet my first year because I didn't have that many clients, right? And I actually did like a handwritten note in each one of my Christmas cards, which would have been really nice to keep going with. But again, you're like drowned and you're already trying to keep your head above water for your own family at Christmas, let alone trying to send out 40 handwritten notes for my first year. And then obviously multiplying that times 5 for the last however many years I've been in the business. So can't do that moving forward. However, send note cards has been really nice. Cheryl, if you're here, can you answer this question for me too? On send note cards, are you able to do like a custom note on each file if you want?
Yeah, you can. You can put your individual notes in send out cards.
So if you want, okay, so that's kind of nice too. Cause again, Cheryl's the one who set this all up, but it's nice that if you have some clients that are obviously like everyone's different, all of our clients, right? And I'm like, oh, like I would say this to this client, but I wouldn't say it to this client. So you could select like different notes inside your cards too, depending on who the client is. Because if it's a close friend of yours, you might write something different than someone who you didn't get that close with during your transaction, right? So
I don't know if you set them up on like a campaign, if you can pull from that campaign and add something to one. I guess if that's what you're saying, just like if you do individual cards though, like if you.
Yeah, it's fascinating is that if you have like someone who's like a really good friend of yours, I think that you could set them up on a separate.
Yeah, definitely.
On a card, because again, it'd be weird to be like warmest regards to closest friends. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
We also do holiday reach outs, but we don't do it for every holiday because I feel like that can be overwhelming. I think there's a holiday almost every single month. But like Thanksgiving, we uploaded a cute like Happy Thanksgiving graphic and we actually uploaded it onto our CRM. Do you guys all have CRMs? I don't know if that's like, Erin, do you have a CRM or no?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I feel like you kind of have to in order to keep track of everybody. So our CRM allows us to create drip campaigns, which has also been super handy. So CRM, we have categorized every deal because there's some people like you have to add them manually. There's our CRM is attached to our lead generation program as well, but then there's obviously people that come in through referrals that don't sign up to the website, so they wouldn't be in the system. So Cheryl actually goes in and manually adds all those people and she puts in their birthdays, she puts in the address that they bought at, and she also adds in like triggers them as like a category of closed. So that if we go into the CRM, you can automatically say like, I want to see every single closed client that we have. And it'll just be like boop, 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 with all of them so that you know exactly how many people have closed and they have like their spouses attached to them. But we put them all in there just so that they're organized and you don't want to miss anybody, right? So with that, like I said, the CRM that we have, I don't know, I'm sure that every CRM is different, but the one that we have, it actually allows you to set up drip campaigns. So you can actually create a template and then select everybody who's on your closed file and then say like send, add the template, and then it'll just like mass email everybody that is in the CRM underneath that tagline of closed. Say, for example, the Happy Thanksgiving. So then they wake up in the morning with like a Happy Thanksgiving from us, which is kind of cool.
I didn't ask you before, like when you're on the team, it's all the clients, right? Like all the agents' clients that get added to the send out cards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone goes. I think that I don't know if send out cards has this option. I know that on the CRM, we hashtag everybody who's me, and then we hashtag everyone who's Jill. And then any new agent moving forward, they'll be hashtag whatever agent was assigned to them too, so that we can make sure that everybody has like their clients still associated with that agent. Because otherwise, again, when the system gets super big and then we don't know who belongs to who, which obviously sucks. So we want to make sure that we have everybody assigned to everybody. The system does have a flaw, but I do like that this is an option. It has what's called merge tags. And so if you do, say, for example, you go like, hi, and then it's like special bracket, lead first name, special bracket, it'll like merge the person for that file. So say, for example, you click on like mass email, and then you say you want to send it to everybody on your closed system, but then you merge tag it for lead first name. It'll just pull everybody's first name from their file so that you can actually send out this happy Thanksgiving email. And it says like hey, Tony, hey, Callie, hey, Aaron, instead of being like, hi, do you know what I mean? Like it'll actually like, and then it should also do this. You can do the merge tag for the agent as well. So then whoever the agent that it's assigned to it should pull the name for that agent. And it'll say like, if Tony's my client, then it'll be like from Skyleigh, Forever Countless Real Estate Group. But if it's Callie and she's assigned to Jill, it should say from Jill, Forever Countless Real Estate Group, because you should be able to merge the tag for the person that's assigned to that lead.
It is pretty cool. I was just curious if like, so when you join your team, like then the all agents get to benefit from the send out cards and the brownies and the
Everyone.
Christmas cards. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Everyone goes on there. And then I'm not sure if you can assign on send out cards to a specific agent. On the CRM, 100% yes. On send out cards, it might just be like one file without having the name associated with it for the agent. Either way, all the send out cards are signatured from all of us, right?
Okay. And the team name, right?
Yeah. The thing that Callie uploaded has like a team photo and it says from Forever Countless Real Estate Group with like all of our signatures. So it comes from all of us. It doesn't have to when we first set it up, it was coming from me. And I was like, I don't want it to come from me for Jill's clients. That sounds freaking weird. Anyway, so that's why we switched it to be Forever Countless Real Estate Group. And then that way you always have like everybody associated with it and it doesn't look weird. I don't know. But I do like the holiday reach outs, and the CRM makes it really easy to do that, especially like if you have Canva's, if you want the pro account, it's like $16 a month. You get all the added features, unlimited downloads, I believe. And we don't send out for every holiday, but you can pick and choose which ones I think are valuable to you and send those out. Something else that I was doing too is that it's just like a nice little touch point. We do like, I've changed it over the years, but one year I went to the store and I ended up getting all of these like flower seeds. And then I had like these individual little plastic bags and put seeds in each one. And then I printed out like instructions for them and said like happy spring, blah, blah, blah. Hope you're enjoying your new home. And I like stapled that to the little bag and then mailed it out to all of my clients. That one actually was a really big hit and it cost me like pennies. Like it was so freaking cheap because I bought like just those little bags from the store of seeds. And there's so many in there that you could like divvy them up between like a couple bags. I don't know. It was super cheap. People freaking loved it. Obviously spring, people love spring. Anyways, that was a nice touch point as well. Or like I've seen people, you know who's really good at this actually? Sarah Park. Sarah Park. I don't know if it has an S on the end. She does the cutest freaking things. She always does like a little meme with it, which is so freaking cute. So this one that she sent me, she's done a bunch, but the one that she sent me that I was freaking like in love with, she had all these ponytails and I think she sent them out for Mother's Day. And she had like her business card like attached to it. And then on the back of the card, it said something like, it's like being a mom can make you want to pull your hair out, but maybe just put it up instead. And it had like this ponytail. And I was like, it was like a cute scrunchie when scrunchies were like all the rate, like when scrunchies first came back. Anyways, I just thought it was super freaking adorable. She does stuff like that all the time. And it was just like a random, like thoughtful send out, just kind of making sure that you're at the top of mind for people, but people like getting things too, right? So I don't know, there's tons of ideas. I'm sure Pinterest has like a bunch of different options, but I like the random send outs for things. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but just making sure that They know that you're still thinking about them. Speaking of random mail outs, I always pay attention to my social media. And so like we had one client that actually ended up going for surgery, and she posted on her social media being like, oh, like I'm doing okay. Like, thank you guys for reaching out. And then I asked Cheryl to send her flowers. Anyways, and so then we sent her flowers, and it was really sweet. She didn't have to do this, but she took a picture of them and posted them on social media and tagged us, which was not the intention, but like, I'll take it. It was really cute that she did that. So sending flowers, thinking about them, or like, even if there's like a loss in the family, or like maybe their dog or cat passes away, people tend to post that stuff on their social media, and we send stuff to them when we see that. Same with, we had one client that said her husband was like, I reached out to her and just was like, hey, I was thinking about you. How are you doing? Right? Just one of those random messages that you send out to touch base with your clients. And she said, oh, like my husband's in the hospital. Like I would love to chat, but like, I'll have to like connect with you next week. Anyways. And again, like Cheryl reached out to her, and like, we were going to send her flowers and stuff too, which is nice. So yeah, just making sure you pay attention to your social media for those types of things. Also, talking about Facebook and Instagram, social media, making sure you engage with your clients on their platforms. So a lot of times the algorithm doesn't necessarily have their stuff pop up on your feed. So if you guys didn't know this, social media, they can't show you everybody's feeds. So like, you could have like 1,000 people on your social media, but you're only seeing like maybe 10 or 20 people's stuff pop up on your feed. So the reason that happens is because they want to connect you with who they think you're best friends with. So the more people that you comment on their stuff, or they comment on your stuff, that's the person's stuff that's going to pop up on, vice versa. So there was an example that a social media, like, I don't know what you call her. She runs a social media management business, and I took a course for her, and she was telling me that she comments on all of Oprah's stuff because she like is obsessed with Oprah. Anyways. And so all the time, Oprah's stuff pops up on her feed because it thinks that she likes Oprah, which she does. Anyways. And so the other thing that happens is that the algorithm will now think that maybe Oprah likes her as well because she's commented on all of her stuff. So her stuff starts popping up on Oprah's feed. Obviously, Oprah probably has a ton of people that have their stuff pop on her feed, but the algorithm matches you with who they think you're BFFs with. So the more times you comment on your client's stuff, it'll start popping up on your feed. But the purpose of me telling you that is that there could be people who are active on social media and it's not actually popping up on your feed. So you need to search their names. So I try and do that as well, where I'm like, I know that I'm friends with so-and-so, but for some reason their stuff's not popping up. So I'll search their name and look through their stuff, and then try commenting on their stuff and liking their stuff, so that, again, my stuff pops up on their feed and their stuff starts popping up on my feed, if that makes sense. And again, you want them to know that you like them. So commenting on their stuff is obviously important. And there was also a general rule of thumb. You don't want to be like, cute cat. Like, you don't want to do that. You want it to be like a few words. So it'd be like, oh my God, your cat is so adorable, right? Like, you want it to be like 5 words. You don't want it to be like really short. The other one would be newsletters. Sorry, I took a pause because I was trying to think if I've talked about this one yet. So if you don't have a newsletter yet, I mean, I don't think it's a make or break. I mean, everything takes time. We only started doing our newsletter last year, and that would have been when I was like 5 years in the business. It is nice to do though, because we do post a lot of like community involvement on there, and we do post a lot of like tips and tricks for different things. Callie, again, is the one who does our newsletters, and we use Flowdesk, which, Cal, do you love Flowdesk? Do you think it's a great program?
I do. I don't have anything to compare it to, but I found it was super easy to get the hang of. Being someone that had never really created a newsletter, I found it pretty simple and straightforward.
And for Flowdesk, is you just create like a tab, and then you can like switch out different things. It's not like you're creating it from like the ground up every time, right?
Yeah, exactly. They have some like pre-made templates that you can get started with. And then, yeah, so every time that I make a newsletter, I'm just copying the month before or the bi-weekly before, and then changing it up.
And then the other thing that I think that is really good with Flowdesk as well, I learned this when I first started using Flowdesk. Callie wasn't doing it at first. We were actually using a company called Meet Pepper, who is your business BFF. They are located out of Kamloops as well. They're freaking amazing. I had a project manager and then we had specialists in each area. And then I coordinated with the project manager and she delegated out to the team to get things done. Anyways, they were the ones who used Flowdesk first, which is why we adopted Flowdesk. I think they used a few other companies that they didn't like as much, but that's kind of how we got to use Flowdesk. But the thing that I like about it is that when we use Flowdesk, you have to upload your contact list onto the program so that they know who you're sending your emails to. And so we use our CRM because people sign up to our website and then they all get added to the CRM. And so you can export your CRM data, which would have like name, phone number, email, all that stuff with a CSV file. It's really easy to do it on our program. You should be able to do it with whatever CRM you're with as well. And then we take that CSV file and we upload it onto Flowdesk. The nice thing with Flowdesk is that if there's duplicates, it doesn't upload it twice. And I know that there is some programs out there that don't have that type of like intelligence and it will duplicate your freaking clients, which is super annoying. So I really like Flowdesk for that as well, which seems like such a silly reason to like it. But when you have so many people signing up to your website every week and you're trying to make sure that you have everybody in your newsletter system, I don't want to have to go through and cross-reference them to make sure that you're not duplicating, because that's really annoying. So I would say that you'd want to do a minimum of one newsletter a month. We post things, for example, Callie just did a write-up about how I have chickens. And that we're like making our chicken coop. Anyways, and it's like not real estate related at all. But I mean, I think that people like not hearing only about real estate from realtors, right? You want them to keep coming back. So we talked about chickens. We always talk about whatever holiday is there. We end up putting links to all the different things happening in the community. Like she had in there last week that obviously Rib Fest is coming back. I think, oh, if you guys didn't know this, the Buskers Festival is this weekend, which is going to be down at Riverside Park. So there's that. Same with like, if there's any new businesses popping up, we always like to highlight new businesses, all that kind of stuff as well. We end up having our referral program link in there so that if they have it, they want to refer, they click the button. Yeah, go ahead, Cal.
Oh, sorry. We do like fun recipes too. Like if I see something that I think looks good, I'm like, I want to share that. And then our new blogs too, like ideas of what to do in Kamloops during the winter and during the summer, things like that.
Oh, and then you linked the YouTube channel on there too, I think.
Yeah. And then all the listings too. Like we do add in all your current listings and market stats, but it's not all real estate. I actually really enjoy doing the newsletters. It's fun.
It does sound kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like finding that stuff. I just have a hard time sitting there and like creating it. Like I don't have like the creative mind for it. Like I know that you love that kind of stuff and like making things look pretty. I'm good at collecting data because I know that I send you links all the time for all the things that are happening. I just can't sit there and create it and make it look pretty. Like I don't have the creative bone in my body's not there.
Well, you do because you've made really pretty things, but I think it's just the time of getting it done. And something else too I like about Flowdesk is that I'm able to send you a test, proofread it, make sure it's what she wants to be putting out there. And then too, it'll ask you like 5 times if you're ready to send. So you're not sending it by accident to your whole email list. It's like, are you sure? Do you want to send it now? And then you can even cancel the send if you're like, oops.
That was a mistake. You can like
our
take
CRM needs that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've mistakenly sent out an email before.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think that I think the CRM needs a test too, because you always have to go in and do it. And then like, it does have a preview, but like the preview doesn't actually directly relate to what it looks like after it's been physically sent. So you create it and then you see the preview, you're like, yeah, it's okay. And then you send it. And I always duplicate myself on them so that I get a copy as well. But then I've looked at it and I'm like, ah, shit, that didn't actually look right. So then you have to do the test, but then you have to do it all over again, which is kind of annoying on our CRM. I don't know. I like Flowdesk. You know, something else that I want to start using, you guys, and I don't know if you guys have used it yet, is like Bomb, like those videos. I would really like to start using BombBomb. I just have not got a chance to do it yet, but I think that it would be a really nice thing to incorporate.
Yeah, I've heard BombBomb is like so much better than Loom. It's just quite a bit more expensive. Like Loom's free and BombBomb is, I think it's like $40 a month or something.
Ooh, that is expensive. You're right. Even Zoom, I pay for Zoom and it only costs me $20 a month. I mean, BombBomb one's $40. That's
Well, I think someone who was telling me about this, they like send drip campaigns through it. And so I don't know if that's like the basic one, but I think when I looked up to switch from Loom to BombBomb, it was like at least $30 a month. And they used to be able to send drip campaigns for free, and now you have to pay for them. So that might be why there's like a charge increase on it.
I don't know if it's just Remax or if it's like Krea or Kadria, but I get BombBomb for free.
oh,
That's nice.
Yeah.
I have to look into that because I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? I get emails about it I get emails about it, but I don't know where it's from. Like, I don't know if it's from Kadria or Remax because I was at Remax before I switched over to EXP. Eden, I don't know if you knew. And so you did or didn't?
I did.
You did. And I still get the email newsletters from Remax. So I'm not sure if I'm getting it still or if I'm getting it from Kadria because again, I haven't unsubscribed from the Remax emails because I mean, there's good content in there. So I always just like to like observe. So I'll have to double check because it would be sweet if it was included in our Kadria fees. And when I say Kadria, I guess I should say Kamloops District Real Estate Association for anybody who is watching this that is not on our board.
But we're not Kadria anymore.
Yes, you're right. We are Interior Board.
Association of Interior Realtors.
We didn't, for some reason, I thought I heard Bobby, like one of the girls that works at our board, women who works at our board. I thought she said we were going to have like a Kadria subheading, but I just don't know if that was true or if she was just hoping that.
Well, I think like every district kind of still does. Because like, for instance, Dawson Creek is part of AIR. And so they're like AIR Northern something or other.
Right.
So I'm sure we'll still have something to like help clarify what area we cover.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Although I don't know, I'm glad we amalgamated. I feel like it was the right step, especially since like
so too.
Having all of us together. Like that's like, I know that our account for like education and software and like the account that we have, it's almost like a contingency fund for like a strata, but we had like that reserve fund for like enhancing the real estate professional's business. And it just grew so much, which I think is important, right? Like if you're just like really small and you don't have any funds to do anything, it's nice that they put us together because now we have all this extra funding that we can really build software and programs to make it so that realtors have better access, so we can have better services for our clients because now we have all this like technology, which is like really cool too. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
I agree. The only complaint that I've heard so far is previously AIR charged home inspectors and people similar to like have access to Century Lock boxes. And Kadria didn't have that before. So like I was chatting with a home inspector today and they're like, I'm not paying. And I was like, okay, let me know if you need a one-day code.
I was sure that they did. I thought it was like $1,300 a year for them to pay, for them to have access to the Century Lock.
Well, it might have been that, but I think he was saying that it was like $400 a month or something like that.
Oh,
like
so
if they were before, it's like significantly more now. So I don't know if they'll like argue enough to get that changed or if we'll just end up sending one-day codes.
Yeah, I would like it if they kept them being affiliated though, because then they're responsible for themselves. Because if we send one-day codes, we're responsible for them now.
Exactly. And then I think it also like helps regulate the home inspectors too. Like it can't be like little Joe deciding he wants to be a home inspector without there being like some kind of regulation. Because I feel like if there was enough complaints about a home inspector, Kadria or whatever would take away their
There's one guy affiliated with our board because he's not bondable. Anyways, but he still has his dang license to be a home inspector, but he's not affiliated with our board. So he reaches out to all the agents getting access codes. And I'm like, oh, don't use that guy.
Yeah. Seems so sketchy. So anyways, I hope they figure that all out and whatever. But other than that, that's like the only downfall I've heard. Otherwise, I totally agree. Like better technology, like better able to serve. And already like I feel like there was already a pretty blurred line in between like Kamloops, like Thompson and the Okanagan.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd often have clients that were like kind of looking in between. And so then I have like clients who have searches on Kadria and the Vernon area. And it was just super annoying.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of that, have I ever told, when I have clients that are looking in two different areas, this is completely off topic and I apologize for that. But speaking of that, I just wanted to share this with you because I feel like it's golden. And because we do have clients that look in a couple different areas like that. And I don't want to drive that far, / I don't have the like market expertise to help someone buy that area, even though it's like similar to us, right? Like there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I wouldn't mind living in Kamloops all the way to Vernon or like Kelowna, right? They'll buy anywhere in between because we're similar. I feel like our climate is very similar and that our the economy is very similar all the way through and that there's jobs similar all the way through. So something that I have been doing because I have clients that do that. And then I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. Cause then now you're using realtors in two different areas. And like, again, because we only get paid on when we make a sale, right? So I want to make sure that our clients are fully taken care of. And the way that we've been able to do that is that I've actually made relationships with agents in those areas. And we've agreed that we will show our clients houses in both areas and that whoever sells the house will give a referral fee back to the agent that didn't actually sell the house. So that there is like no hard feelings when it's like, oh, they actually bought in Vernon, but I showed them like 10 plus houses here in Kamloops and area. So it's kind of nice to be able to work with agents in different areas. Obviously, pick and choose who you want to work with because you want to make sure they take care of the client the same way that you would. But either way, it's worked out really well because there's so many people who don't really care where they live. It's more about like the house. Anyway, so that's what we've been doing. And it's actually worked out really well because then nobody's upset and nobody's trying to like sales pitch them to buy in their area. It's like whatever house you find, I'm completely cool with because I'm going to get compensated regardless.
Yeah.
So
I do that with someone in Merritt as well, because then she covers like Merritt and Logan Lake, which is like an hour away from me. So that works out really well too.
Yeah. And then I don't know, I think it's like the client feels extra taken care of. You get your review. Hopefully you get your referrals. Like it all just like goes together. Really good. So there's only a couple other points that I wanted to touch on. And we have talked about this before in like our buyer process and stuff like that. But for the after sales process, obviously doing like customer appreciation events. So making sure that you don't have to do these, but honestly, they're really good for building a referral business. I think that's probably where I talked about it last time is when you do your customer appreciation events, I always invite friends and family as well. And then your name gets kind of like front of mind with that. And again, you're just making sure that your clients realize that you're not forgetting about them and that you still do care about them, regardless of them not buying for another 5 years or whatever, right? So customer appreciation events, I think, are really important as well for the after sales process. There's so many different things you can do. We are doing an ice cream day where we did this last year and we're going to do it again, like in the near future. I just have to reach out to the ice cream parlor, but I reached out to Scoops last year and I was like, hey, if I give you my credit card information, would you partner with us to do a client appreciation event where we send a graphic? And if they show you the graphic on this weekend, then you'll give them the ice cream and then you can charge my credit card at the end of the weekend. And anyways, it actually was quite successful. It only cost me like $250 or something like that for this client appreciation event. And I got pictures of like families with their kids eating ice cream and like, oh no, it was really nice. And everyone really appreciated it too. It's just one of those touch points. And then they get like a $2 ice cream and they're like on cloud nine. So I also want to do a event at Riverside Park one year. I don't think we're going to do it this year because I didn't plan it far enough in advance. Our summer's kind of already packed. Maybe next year. It would be really cool to do like a family day event at a park I've seen people do like bowling days where they rent out the whole like bowling alley. And there's the movie in the park that we've talked about before, stuff like that. Just a customer appreciation event, just reminding your clients that you do care about them. And then the other one would be like a community event. This one's obviously like a little bit different because you're probably like doing like a volunteer something, or like maybe you're going to do like Boogie the Bridge, for example. And you could just like invite your clients to go do the run with you and like a bunch of other people. Right. So that one's nice. Or say, for example, I buy extra tickets to the circus and then I just give them away to somebody that has bought with us in the past, or even like Cirque du Soleil was in town. I could buy extra tickets and send a family to that. I'm trying to think what else. Regardless, there's events that happen in the city. And if you could buy some extra tickets and just send it to one family, like, I don't think it breaks your bank. Plus, it's actually really nice to do that. Hockey tickets. I don't know. Blazers tickets. That's for us. Kamloops, but depending where you are, obviously you could buy tickets for like a game. Or, it's another really good one that I think that I am going to do, you guys, is that we have North Paws. It's all summer. They're doing baseball at Mac Island. So I think that would be fun too, to get some tickets. And then we could even post it on our social media page and be like, who wants to go to a free North Paws game? Like, just drop an emoji below and then we'll do a draw at the end of the day. Right. And then someone wins like 4 tickets to the North Paws game, or tickets to the Blazers game, or something like that. Right. That's all I got. Do you guys have any other like after sale processes to make sure that your clients feel valued that you would like to add? Tony, I feel like you were going to say something.
I don't have suggestions for like what to add, like for what else you could do. But like, this is like our second house now, and we haven't had contact with our agent after purchase on either of them. So I guess it's nice to do it because like without that contact, like, I don't know if they like to work with me. I don't know if they want to work with me again.
How many agents have you had in the past? 2?
Yeah. So
and
2 houses, and I haven't had what? It cut out.
You haven't heard from either of them?
Well, like I've had cards and stuff, but I know that's all automated and it's done through not them. So like by doing these kinds of things, then I would know that maybe they actually did enjoy working with me and would want to work with me again. Because some clients are difficult, so you don't really know if like maybe I was a difficult client and I don't know that.
Oh my God, I think that you're probably fine. You're very sweet.
I'm sure I was fine, but like I don't know. I guess I'm more likely to use them again if they do stay in contact with me in some way. So, or even just like that ice cream thing, they just do something. So they're more fun to work with too.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I know that not everyone's built equally. I know that there's obviously a lot of agents. Everyone operates differently. I think that's like the cool thing about real estate is that yes, we all like help our clients buy and sell real estate, but how you've set up your business is completely different from one to the other. So I can't remember who I was talking to. I think I was talking to Cody on the phone the other day when I was driving. And he was telling me that some people that he used to work with at the Brick were like wondering why he wanted to get into real estate because like every agent that they've ever worked with like wasn't great and blah, blah, blah. And they just thought that's just the way that it was. Not that everybody was different and that you actually had to interview people and figure out who you actually would work with the best. They thought that like, oh, this is what that is. And this is what it looks like. And everyone's the same, which is obviously not true. Like everyone is so different. I never want people to think that like once it's done, it's done. I don't want them to think that they were just like another like tally on our board. I want them to feel like we valued them as a client, which we do. I think that's why we have all this stuff.
Yeah, I think it works. It for sure helps.
I actually did just get reached out to by a client of mine from like my first year in real estate, and they wanted to sell their place and like buy here in town. And I'm like, well, that worked out. So it's kind of exciting, which speaking of Cheryl, we need to go shopping for a couple baby onesies because she just had twin girls and they are freaking adorable. But we need to get her son something too, because I don't want to get just the twins something and then not her, not the boy, the little boy. So we need to get a toy for him and then some little girl onesies from Modern Family Boutique so that when I go out there, I can give it to them.
That's nice that you're also thinking of the older child, because I know to me that's is important as well.
I should thank my mom for that actually, because it was Hadley's birthday the other day and Huxon was like trying to get into her toys and because she was like opening her presents and my mom was like had this little bag with just like one little thing in it for him and she was just like, here you go, and like set him off to the side and was like, here's your gift, like here's this for you. And then he ended up going and like playing with his toy instead of like trying to rummage through Hadley's stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was really nice. Like, and then he's 2.5. I don't know if he would have felt left out, but I definitely feel like he would have been sad to be like held back from like trying to get into all the bags and stuff. So my mom just like pulled him over and was like, here's your little bag. And it was just like this dollar store truck that she had in this bag. And he went off on his own. I was like, that's amazing.
I think what Cheryl said too, like, because my little sister was born when I was 8 and everyone was coming over to see her. And this is like a core memory for me is that someone actually brought me over, like, it was like a collector, like quarters. I think it was like 1999. So it was going into 2000. I don't know, something from the post office, but like she got it for me, like, congratulations on becoming a big sister. And I was just like over the moon. We're not expecting. And I still have the thing. I'll remember it forever.
Yeah, actually, and you know what, speaking of that too, Callie, even you were 8, yes, but I have like someone at Hadley's birthday was saying like happy birthday to me for Hadley too, because she was just like, oh, for you too, like you gave birth to her today 7 years ago. And I was like, oh, that's actually really nice. Like, and I'm 30 years old, not yet, next month I'll be 30, but either way, still nice to be like acknowledged, right, on like that day as well. So I don't know, obviously not every single person that comes should be buying 2 gifts or whatever, but like it was still like a nice gesture for sure.
Yeah.
That's all I have to add. If you guys are good, then we will call it a day. Thank you guys all so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we decide if there was another time that actually works better for you guys? I'm kind of wondering if maybe we should do Monday or something instead. Because you guys,
I feel like Monday and Fridays are both the hardest days for me.
I'm trying to think what another day would be. The only other day that I would have would be Wednesday.
Wednesday works good for me.
Yeah, because Monday we have a team meeting. Tuesday is tour. Wednesday I'm good. Thursday we have a meeting, and then Friday was the only other. So it's like Wednesdays and Fridays were the only 2 days that I could really do. But it would be nice to like switch it so that it was easier. Would be easier for people to be able to come / more people, right? So, okay, maybe I'll put on the thing seeing if Wednesday's another good day. Okay, thanks guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, have a good weekend.
Bye guys.